I work around the clock at 2 jobs. I do 14, 16-hour work days. Last week in LA, I think I did 2 radio shows and 3 TV shows.
Wow.
And everybody came up to me and they said, why? And they gave me 3 words of advice. They said, you're not funny. No, I'm joking with you.
It is Thanksgiving week, but what I couldn't think of a better way to celebrate Danica than our guest for today. He is like, we were trying to think of a good intro, a modern day Superman, right? Dentist by day, comedian by mid-afternoonish. He is the Jersey outlaw himself, the one and only Jimmie Lee.
And that was a very exciting introduction. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, thank you. Jimmie, this is so exciting.
FOMO.
Oh my gosh. I'm so happy.
Appreciate you guys having me on. You know, it's funny. You're the only guys that actually are putting me on now. So I very much appreciate it.
Oh, it is an honor. It is a privilege. Jimmie, we kind of wanted to start off by asking, like we mentioned, it is Thanksgiving week. Do you have any big plans for the holidays?
No, but guess what I found out?
What?
The Pilgrims weren't Jews. The Jews sold the Pilgrims to turkeys.
There it is. We're learning. This is also educational, folks.
Yes, very educational. I know, Cadet, you were interested in that. That's why I brought that up first.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. So, Jimmie, let's say we did have the honor of all spending Thanksgiving together. What are you bringing? What are you making? What can we expect? Like, what's
I'm a Jewish guy. I show up and I eat. Come on, stop.
Oh my gosh.
Out of it.
Same here. As
okay, there you go.
I fully understand. Yes,
hey,
yes.
Cadet, guess what happened to me last night?
What happened?
I came home at 10 o'clock and my wife was in her nightgown.
Mm-hmm.
And in the end table in the ashtray was a cigar, but it was lit. The cigar was lit.
Uh-huh.
I said, honey, where'd that cigar come from? And a voice in the closet said, would you believe Havana? That's when the fight started.
That I wish I had a soundboard because that deserved a round of applause. That was a good one, Jimmie. Okay.
How about if it's an older lady watching around a menopause? What do you think of that?
I love it. Oh, I love it. And you got your red.
Well, Jimmie, next question was, so outside of comedy, of course, what kind of fandoms helped to shape you growing up?
Say it again.
What kind of fandoms outside of comedy helped to shape you growing up?
What do you mean?
What kind of stuff were you interested in outside of comedy or dance?
So I did music too, and I always was an entertainer style personality with the upbeat personality. So I knew I had to land doing this. When you come from a Jewish family, your mom says you're going to be a doctor. So my brother became a doctor. I became a dentist. But then that's not really your passion. It makes you a living, and it's nice to a point. But your passion is, what you love doing. I like entertaining people, and I like being the funny guy. That's just how I've been. Like how you see me now. I was like this as a kid. I didn't really change. I just put it up on the street on social media. I was doing this as a kid.
So, were you bar mitzvahed?
Bas mitzvahed before the sex change. Yeah.
Yeah. That's exciting.
Rabbi Kimowitz took a little bit too much off the top, to be honest with you.
That's like one of my favorite jokes. Like I married a Gentile, as my dad would say, and so my dad always threatens, to do the surgery for him.
I married a Chinese girl, and I'll tell you, she screams when I have sex, especially when I walk in on her. Oh yeah, yeah, that's true. I mean, she screams and hollers when I have sex, and she realizes I'm not going to take no for an answer.
Oh my God. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, Kid Cadet, I know how to make a girl say yes.
What? How?
I say, am I bothering you? Works all the time.
Okay. So what was your first memory of comedy? Like, do you have a favorite? I know you like, of course, Rodney Dangerfield.
Well, as a kid, Don Rickles was the guy on Carson who you'd wait up for because he would insult everybody and he was outrageously nuts. And that's where we grew up in the 80s. And that's kind of my style, is that wise guy insult comedy, and Dangerfield does the one-liners. And I like Red Fox, not on the TV show when he was in a showroom where he was dirty. So my inspirations are more those old school style comics, and I feel a need to keep that style of comedy alive. Nobody will do it. No comedians will interact with the public directly. So the Jersey Outlaw has to step up.
Yeah. Do you ever get nervous, Jimmie?
No, I'm just a big ham, and my son says I have histrionic personality disorder. So I feed on this. This is like a drug. Fame and entertainment's a drug. It's almost like I need that FOMO in my life. I have a lot of problems, as you can see.
No. Okay. And was there like a comedy album? Like, was that something that you were interested in as well? Like comedy specials or comedy albums?
Back in the day, Don Rickles had an album called Hello Dummy.
Of course, yeah.
70s. And back when we were really young, they had albums like Bill Cosby and Don Rickles. They had actually LP albums like a singer would have.
Right.
My mom actually had all of those.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's interesting, but we saw Don Rickles when the casinos came to Atlantic City in the early 80s. And, back then, Rodney Dangerfield was there, Red Fox, all the entertainers that I grew up on. And that's the kind of style I like. And, you can't change an artist. An artist has to do what he's comfortable doing. And that's the kind of comedy I do. In fact, I got to tell you something, Danica, you'll be proud of me. I had 3 ladies pounding at my bedroom door last night. Guess what I did?
Did you just set the place on fire?
No, I finally let them out.
Oh, God. Okay. Danica?
Well, Jimmy, what do you consider one of the greatest either comedy bits or comedy routines of all time?
I think Rickles, when he brought guys up on the stage and he did that Japanese thing, and he would say, "You're the Jewish guy, you're going to get the better part. Don't talk to the Gentile. We Jews don't talk to Gentiles." And he kind of did it almost like a Jackie Mason skit. Like I wrote a skit in a Jackie Mason style where I'll go up to a girl with a mask and I'll say, "I'd like you to keep the mask on, non-COVID related. I mean, you're ugly. I'm not going to say you're ugly, but you're ugly. But, I don't want to talk about people. It's not my nature to talk about people. By the way, I got to go to buses here." And I walk away and the girl's face just drops. She says, "What in the hell just happened?" And that's like a little Jackie Mason skit. But that's kind of like what Don Rickles would do and the old style comedians. But I come up with these improv skits. I make them up as I go. And some I write jokes and remember them. And there was a guy from Canada in New York, and I said, "Go home, stop bothering the people." And he starts laughing. I said, "Go buy an ice cube and go skate." I don't even know where they come from. They just come, but they're funny because they're off the cuff, and people don't expect it. I go up to a lady from Egypt. I said, "I hope you find a parking place for your camel," and walk away. So I just come up with stuff. It's shock comedy. It's outrageous, and it's fun. Why? Because nobody expects it, and no one does it.
Right. I think people have a fear. Right? Like people are afraid of
They don't have the balls. See, H3, they say Jimmy Lee just doesn't care. He doesn't have a filter. Well, maybe that's good for comedy, maybe not for life. But, for when I go on the street and I just start ripping people up, there's a tall guy. I look up, I say, "How's the weather up there?"
Right.
I mean, stuff like that. That's not even offensive. No. I said, "I didn't know I was talking to a tree." So, you can come up with funny bits.
Right. I mean, there's only one Jersey Outlaw. There's only one Jimmy Lee. Like no one is doing what you do. And that's what makes you so unique and special. And that's what makes you stand out. Please never change.
I love thank you. I just hope that the people out in TV land, eventually I get a call from Jimmy Kimmel. I already wrote my bit. I'm going to walk on. I'm going to say, "Hi, Johnny." I'm going to say, "Jimmy Kimmel, my TV show's doing so good. I'm the only guy that knows about it."
What is it in particular about Jimmy Kimmel that draws you to him?
We did a shoot last Thursday, and if I tell you what we did, it was funny. Jim Erler, a guy was doing a game show. I was walking back and forth when the camera was there, and then at the end we were doing street comedy right to the side where the producers were to get their attention. So you ask why? Well, as a kid, I know when a comedian got on the late night TV show or like Saturday Night Live, they made it.
Right.
So I was thinking if somehow I got on Fallon or Kimmel and like I was on Newsmax and Fox News recently, which is great, but not late night. But if late night grabbed me or Gutfeld or one of them, I could be almost the guy that got famous overnight. And I'm fighting hard to earn that and to get that. And I hope one day I do, because I work around the clock at 2 jobs. I do 14, 16-hour work days. Last week in LA, I think I did 2 radio shows and 3 TV shows.
Wow.
And everybody came up to me and they said, "Why?" And they gave me 3 words of advice. They said, "You're not funny." No, I'm joking with you.
I was going to say it takes a long time to become an overnight success. I think that's the thing a lot of people don't realize.
People say you are, and they don't realize you've been breaking your chops for 10 years at it.
Right.
And then you get a break.
For sure. And like what you were saying about, you know, when people were on Carson and he would call them over to the couch to talk to him, that was the
four times to do comedy before you got called over to the couch. Wow. Yeah, you know, Roger was telling me that last week. I didn't even know that. Entertainment's hard, and here's what I'll say to the people out there. If it's not a passion for you, don't love it, don't do it, because the odds of you making it aren't high. I'm doing it because I like doing it. I have a day job to make a living, but if I had to make a living like this, I'd be under the trash can with the homeless guy down on Hollywood Boulevard.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And here you are with me and Sweet D on this fine Tuesday.
The two best people that interviewed me today.
Oh, today. Oh, gosh.
Just today.
Come on. Here it is.
No. All right. No, we heard you.
What would you say is the biggest misconception about being a comedian and doing what you do in particular?
People think it's easy. I have to tell you, the amount of studying I do on YouTube, watching Don Rickles, Rodney Dangerfield, even Tom Jones or Sinatra singing to look at the charisma and how they handle themselves. And I was friendly with Steve Rossi, who was with Alan Rossi back years ago at the comedy team, and hung out with him and watched how when we went out to eat, I handled himself. The charisma and the it factor, and when people see you, they almost know you're someone, even when you're not. And that's a certain gift that Elvis had, Sinatra had, very few people have. So that's something I study a lot on YouTube, hours and hours of time. It's not like this just comes to you.
Right.
And then with comedy, when I started 8-9 years ago, I would study a lot of the comedians on YouTube, took some of their jokes, rewrote some of their jokes, started to learn how to write jokes. And anybody that tells you something's easy, they're lying to you. And anybody tells you that they make it overnight, it takes a long time to make it. So that's the biggest misconception, that this is like a job. It's not, but I enjoy it. I like the spotlight.
Yeah, clearly. And you deserve to be in it. You have that X factor, Jimmy. Like there's something very likable about you. And like whether people, you know, obviously you can't impress everybody when you're out on the street. You might offend somebody by accident, but I'll tell you what, they're going to remember you forever. Right.
So a good example is I went to Catch last week with my manager, and I had to send the steak back. So the lady comes over. She goes, "Wait a minute. I met you in the spring. You're the comedian with the TV show." She remembered me. Her name's Taylor. She met me once. People, whether they like me or not, they remember me because I make sure. So I make that impact. So the question is, if I can virally get on a big TV show, late night or something, where everybody sees me once, they'll remember me, and then maybe I get that break. That's kind of what I'm shooting to do. You follow me? You follow me?
Absolutely.
Well, you follow me, I'll call the cops.
You won't know we're there. All right. Well, we have to ask, Jimmy, what is your favorite old-timey joke?
What's my favorite old-timey joke?
Yeah.
Well, the three ladies pounding at the bedroom door, finally let them out.
That's really good.
I told my wife last night I wanted to be on the bottom and she could be up on the top. She got a bunk bed.
I like that.
I bought a strobe light. I said, now when I make love to you, look like you're moving. Last night, I gave her the performance of my life. I actually almost woke her up. I told her she's a lousy cook. I said, if you could cook better, we could fire the chef. She said, if you could screw better, we could fire the chauffeur. So it's set up punch. It's a lot like Dangerfield, and a lot of them I write, and some I steal. And one thing that cadet, very, very perceptive. When you meet me, you won't forget me, whether you like me or not. But I have the energy. I'm an older guy now. I'm in my 50s. I get the energy of somebody half my age. And I can work somebody half my age and actually be funnier than somebody half my age.
Yes.
So I hope I get that break. And by the way, it's not my nature to talk about people. So you want to hear one of my funniest jokes I'm going to do when I get on Jimmy Kimmel?
Yes.
At the end, I'm saying, Jimmy, you know, you're a great host. And one thing all your guests say about you is you know how to listen. And then, you know, I'll say, thank you. And then I'll say, nobody knows you got nothing to say. That's so I'm writing everything ahead of time in case the odds are low. I'm being prepared. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I remembered the exact quote, but it's like you don't have to get ready if you stay ready.
Yeah. Right? Or they say preparation meets opportunity. Did you know, Kid Cadet, I was a lion tamer when I was 22 years old?
I did not know.
You know how many times, Kid Cadet, I stuck my head in a lion's mouth? Only once.
Okay. Oh.
I'll get to the funny ones. In a little
Okay. I think you're killing it. I think this is great.
Hey, they asked me. Listen. They asked me to be the centerfold for Reader's Digest last week. Reader's
Oh, they
Digest.
did.
Yeah, but I don't like where they put the staples.
I like that one.
You know, kid, my dad taught me how to swim when I was 11 years old. He put me in a lake and he put me in a canoe in the lake, and the canoe capsized. It was tough getting out of that burlap bag. I got out.
Thank goodness. Oh, man.
Whoa.
Danica, why don't we each ask 2 more questions, and then we have a game for you, Jimmy. So, Danica, you go, and then I'll go. You go, me, then game.
All right. So if you were not a dentist or a comedian, what job would you be terrible at?
I'm not a good athlete. I'll give you an example. Junior year, I played football. They arrested me for molesting a goalpost. Okay. So we played Vassar College one year, and everybody used to say to me, it's a girls' school. I said, you play where you want to play. I'll play where I want to play. So I didn't do good with football. Why don't you ask me, Kid Cadet, who my favorite tight end is? Say, Jimmy, who's your favorite tight end?
Jimmy, who's your favorite tight end?
Madonna.
Oh, same.
So you asked me what I'm not good at. Athletics isn't my passion. I'm a great entertainer. I can play piano. I can sing. I can do jokes. And that's what I like doing.
What kind of music do you like to sing?
Well, you know, it's interesting. I always grew up on the 70s and 80s. But as I've gotten older, I've learned Sinatra music and I've learned older stuff. And what's interesting is I have that photographic memory. I'll play a song once or twice. I don't need sheet music.
Wow.
Yeah,
So I sit at a piano, and people, you know, you go to a restaurant, you ask for a song, they take 12 books out, they find a song, and they still mess it up. I can just sit at a piano with no sheet music.
That's
Wow.
so
I have
cool.
this photograph. Remember, it's the same when I do jokes. Like I'll write jokes and I'll memorize them. So if a situation comes up, you know, I have the joke. I know what to say.
That's
Wow.
really incredible.
Yeah, it is.
But you got to understand something. I'm doing this all the time. I have my phone. I'll write a joke and I'll put it in my phone. I'll see an older Jewish lady. I said, "What do you shop Forever 82?" I said, "I like the bags under your eyes." Are they Gucci? Go take a room at Saks. So I wrote them already. But to you, oh my God, he's funny. He's off the cuff. No, they were written and they come out of the poquito when the situations are, or a guy who's 80. How old are you? He goes 80. I go, "You don't look 80." The guy says, "Thanks." I said, "You look 90." I said, "You look when you're alive. It's Playboy, not Play Dead. Now get out of here." So, you know, but the jokes I wanted you to know, they're jokes I wrote before.
Sure.
Some I come off the cuff, you know, if I see a situation.
So what would your go-to karaoke song be?
Jeez, you stumped me on that one. I don't know.
Some Fly Me to the Moon, maybe?
I don't know. I mean, I'd have to do something. I have a unique talent where I could take a song and play it. I did this for Ethan and Hill, and I can put words in about them. Like I did a Piano Man song, and I just, you know, sing me a song, you crazy Jew. No, tell me a joke, you crazy Jew. Make me laugh tonight. We're sick of H3's videos. Something about you ain't right. I just wrote that. So I played it on the piano. I sent it to them, and they put it on their pocket. So I have like that weird Yankovic guy.
Yeah, I love him.
A song that I know by heart, and I could, if I knew enough about you two, I could do one for you. That's just a gift I've been doing since I was a kid.
Fabulous.
Fabu.
Fabu. Okay, so who would play you in the Jimmy Lee biopic?
It'd have to be some wise guy, Italian guy. Maybe John Travolta. I don't know.
Is he available?
No.
We'll ask.
Yeah, let's get him on the line.
A wise guy, Italian guy, or maybe a wise guy, Italian guy does comedy like Sebastian. Travolta's an actor. Maybe an Italian guy that has that dark hair like me and that it factor. Sebastian's real animated. He'd be good at it.
Okay.
Something like that, like a wise guy.
You know, a real wise guy. I love it. Okay, final question before we go to our game, because we do have a game. Let me see. Okay, what's been the best piece of advice that you've ever received in your career?
Well, my wife's dad, who I really respect, he's a businessman. He always said to me, stay humble, work really hard. He said something I don't do, I guess, because of my personality. Low profile. You don't have to brag to people about everything. Everybody doesn't have to know who you are, but work hard, be honest, and be a good guy. So I would say some of that I took and some I didn't, because, you know, when you have the upbeat personality and someone says, oh, cool down a little bit. How do you tell a guy with histrionic personality disorder to cool down? It doesn't work. My youngest son has what I have. He's out of his mind too. The older one's like my wife. He's normal. You can't tell Colby or me to calm down. We're both wired up. So it's hard to tell. It's like me telling you to change. See, my wife, I said to her this, so you haven't changed in 40 years, which is a big savings on your laundry.
That might be my favorite one. So
Another
far.
dumb joke.
No, they're great. They're great. You're keeping smiles on our faces. My cheeks are laughing.
My wife, cadet, ran away last week with my best friend. Guess what I did?
What did you do?
Sent the guy a thank you note. You better believe it. You better believe it.
I do. Okay, so we have a game for you, Jimmy. This is a game of Would You Rather. There is no wrong answers, so whatever you pick is the correct answer. If you want to tell us why you pick something, that's great too. So Danica is going to read the first one. So let's bring up the graphic, and here we go.
Ooh, would you rather do an entire set with your mouth shot up with Novocaine or do an entire set wearing a mouth spreader device?
You two have problems.
We do.
The questions I'm giving you. So it's stomach cancer or liver cancer here.
Ooh.
So I would say probably the mouth spreader device.
Okay.
It looks
Because I
fun.
can actually be able to talk.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
Okay.
Great answer. Okay, here's the next one. Would you rather challenge Dan to a celebrity boxing match or challenge Jimmy Kimmel to a celebrity boxing match?
Absolutely Jimmy Kimmel, because I idolize him and want to be on his show.
And
who would take him?
And Dan hates me anyway.
Aw, he is Dan the hater. So
Yeah, Dan has a personality disorder. He has rectal uptitis. You know what that is?
I could probably figure that out.
I'll tell you, it's where the optic nerve connects to the rectum, giving one a shitty outlook on life.
Oh no!
That's
Oh,
Dan's
poor
problem.
Dan.
But I didn't want to tell. I didn't really want to tell him. Maybe you can tell him.
Okay,
We'll tell.
I'll relay the information. Okay,
Promise? Promise?
sure.
Okay.
Okay, Dan.
By the
All
way,
right, next
by the way,
one.
you know Bruce, Kid Cadet.
Bruce, like
You know
Bruce.
Bruce. You know Bruce.
Bruce.
Every time we fly, he sits in the cockpit with me. You know Bruce.
Oh yeah, Bruce. Sure, Bruce.
Yeah. Took him on a vacation last year.
Oh.
Yeah, everybody came. Mhm.
Oh my God! Because I was like,
You-
Bruce.
I know you know Bruce. Go ahead.
Oh,
What's your
sure.
name?
Well, I was going to say we actually had a gentleman on here a couple of weeks ago named Bruce Valanche.
No,
Have
but
you ever
this
worked
is
with Bruce
Bruce.
Valanche?
No, this is Bruce.
Bruce. Of
Yeah,
course.
Bruce. Okay.
The other Bruce. Okay. Danica, next one.
Okay, all right. Would you rather play to a room of second graders or play to a room of 85-year-old cougars?
85-year-old cougars, because they'll get my jokes.
That's the demo. Perfect.
Yeah,
Love it.
that's my metric match.
Love it.
And I'll get a joke in right before one of them passes on.
I mean, talk about a wonderful final memory.
Right.
Exactly. The Jersey Outlaw roasts me. When I see the old people, I go, it ain't a roast, it's a rye. But if it's a black guy, said it ain't a roast, it's a barbecue.
Oh no. Okay.
Yes. Oh yes.
Oh yes.
Oh no. Oh yes.
Oh yes. All right. Here's the next
You know
one.
what Henry Kissinger's wife said to Henry Kissinger on the wedding night?
No idea. Wasn't
Oh, Henry.
Oh.
It's a dumb joke. Go ahead.
I love.
That's how they came up with the candy.
Yes, of course. Okay, here's the next one. Would you rather go back and be part of the Friars Club or go back and be part of the Colgate Comedy Hour?
Friars Club, because
Mm.
that's when Rickles and all those guys in the 70s were in there. The
That'd be so
Colgate
cool.
Comedy Hour, I think, is even before my time.
Yeah, I
sure.
think. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Great choice. Okay, Danica, next one.
All right,
Good luck.
next one. Would you rather eat Thanksgiving dinner from a can, that delightful looking thing, or have surströmming for Thanksgiving?
No, I eat it from a can.
I mean, I guess they're both from a can, technically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
one is fish and gross.
Ugh,
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
hard pass on both. Okay, here's the next one. Would you rather get roasted by Don Rickles or get roasted by Triumph, the insult comic dog?
Obviously, Don Rickles. my favorite. By the way, he passed.
Yes, that is
Mhm.
correct.
I had a call from the wife.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Danica?
Oh, wait. Aha. Would you rather Play Archie Bunker in an All in the Family reboot, or play the dentist in a new Little Shop of Horrors?
Play the dentist.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember my One F Dumb Dentist from years ago with Ethan Hiller? They aired it?
I actually don't. What was it?
Oh, we did comedy skits in my dental office, One F'd Up Dentist, and Ethan and Hiller did reaction videos on it.
Oh my gosh.
It blew up. So obviously we would go back and play the dentist. I wrote all the jokes, hired the people, and I read scripts with them. And it was real like one of the jokes would be a girl would be in the chair and I'd say, she goes, "Are we done, doctor?" I'd say, "Yeah, we're done. You can go to the sink and rinse and now get dressed and go." It was like that kind of comedy. You know, or a lady would come and she goes, "I got a tooth that's loose." I said, "Honey, that ain't the only thing that's loose." So I wrote all these comedies. And oh, they're hysterical. They're hysterical.
I'll go back and revisit.
Okay.
Kid Cadet and I both love Little Shop of Horrors.
The dentist, the Little Shop of Horrors, obviously.
Yeah, we love it. We love it so much.
One of our favorite musicals, and we were hoping that you would know what it is. And
I saw that off Broadway in the late '80s.
You did?
Yeah.
So jealous.
I went off Broadway and saw it, and when I was done, and I went backstage, they said, "Don't ever come off Broadway again, Jimmy. Like, we hate you. Go back to Broadway. Don't come back."
Oh my God.
And I said, "I want you to be serious." The guy said, "I'm dead serious." So I had to go.
Oh, well. All right. We got two more. So would you rather?
How many more?
Two.
Not one, two.
Dos. All right, here we go. Would you rather do a Freaky Friday swap with Zach the Sound Lad or do a Freaky Friday swap with Ethan?
Gotta go with Zach. Zach's my boy.
We love Zach.
We love the Zacher.
Okay. Great choice. And Danica, you want to take it home?
Take it home.
All right. Would you rather be a reverse merman or a reverse centaur?
I don't even know what that is.
So
mermaid or centaur, what is that?
So merman is fish on top, human body. Centaur, horse on top, human body.
Well, the centaur is more like the wife. In fact, we have her right over the fireplace. You know, so I would do a centaur.
Great choice. Jimmy, this has been such a delight. You are such a delight. Oh. And I hope that the entire world gets to see you, know your name. You deserve it.
Where does this go? Does it go does it go on YouTube? Where's
to the internet?
Yeah, so right now we are live on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
Do you edit this and put it up or as a video?
Yeah, I mean it's happening right now as we speak.
And then do you put it up like Ethan afterwards on your YouTube channel?
Yes, we do.
Oh,
yeah,
so
and we can send it to you to make sure you have it, and then we'll take different clips from this, and then we'll put them up on our Instagram, and we'll send those on your way.
Can I say something? I appreciate you guys having me on. I'm a little guy, and when the people believe in a little guy, it's appreciated. I hope you jump on your bike, Danica, and there's no seat.
Wow, thanks.
Jimmy, before we release you back into the world, we're going to go over our upcoming guests that we have coming up for
why
this November.
Doesn't pertain to me. Why? I'm only messing with you.
Fair.
Yeah, that is a fair
question. You're a good egg, Kid Cadet. I love you.
Thank you.
And Danica, I love you. Thanks for having me on.
Well, real quick, before you go, Jimmy, we're going to go over upcoming guests. Wait, bring up the graphic. Here we go. So next week we have wrestler Al Snow. We also have Casey Jost from Impractical Jokers.
Oh, he's good. He's good.
Isn't he amazing? We love him.
Who is he?
He's the director and producer of Impractical Jokers. He is phenomenal.
He's doing a very good job. And when I figure out what job he's doing, I'm going to call him and let him know.
You should.
Thank you very much.
He's wonderful. Jay Gordon, the singer from Orgy, Duncan Sheik. He writes a bunch of Broadway musicals like Spring.
I had a lot to do with his career. Do you know why?
Why?
I tried to stop it.
Oh. I can hear my husband laughing in the other room.
Your husband's actually my only fan.
We have Phoebe Babs from Sirius XM and also Danny Cooksey, who is an actor extraordinaire. He's been on every show ever.
He's a wonderful actor.
He's amazing.
Who is
he was on Good Times. Oh, he's been in everything. Jimmy, thank you so much. This is such an honor.
I love you guys. Thanks. Have a good night.
You too, everybody. We'll see you guys real soon. Happy Thanksgiving. Be safe.
Double, baby.
Bye. Bye.